House Democrats passed a costs this session that develops a brand new version for just how Congress works. This design removes the partial divide and puts the rate of interests of the individuals ahead of partial national politics. Collaborating with a razor-thin bulk, residents Democrats have videotaped the greatest degree of party unity in flooring ballots that either party has actually gotten to in at the very least 50 years, according to the reliable data kept by Legislative Quarterly as well as Roll Telephone Call.
As inside the Capitol, a fight over who will be their Speaker of the House is heating up. Nancy Pelosi, the current top Democrat, was upbeat that she will reclaim her former title.
What's your level of confidence?
High.
Residents Democrats have actually passed regulations on essentially every component of their celebration's top priority checklist, from sweeping Build Back Better investment and also social welfare plan to expenses establishing a national floor-in for ballot, as well as abortion civil liberties to significant gun control proposals, legalization for big teams of undocumented immigrants as well as enthusiastic authorities reform, with dissenting ballots from no greater than 2 of their members. And often resistance from just 1 or none.
I'm very humbled to have the privilege to be able to serve and lead this conference.
The unity in our caucus has been our strength.
Across the Capitol in the Senate, more easy wins as Democratic leader Chuck Schumer and Republican Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell each cruised to re-election.
Thanks a lot.
The vastness of that record has actually not received much interest due to the fact that numerous bills have been obstructed in the Senate by the Republican filibuster, opposition from Sen's Joe Manchin of West Virginia and Kyrsten Sinema of Arizona, or both.
Draft Supreme Court decision to roll back Roe reverses 49 years of precedent. It defies the precedent of precedent itself, a cornerstone of the Supreme Court.
Yet the consensus around this sweeping schedule stands in significant contrast to the Democratic experience under previous head of states Barack Obama, and also costs Clinton, when loads of residents Democrats consistently voted against the party on vital steps, from Clinton's spending plan to Obama's Affordable Care Act. The values of the type of standards as well as expectations within the caucus have actually shifted, states Democratic Representative David Price of North Carolina, a previous political science teacher that is retiring this year after offering in Congress, with 1 2-year break, since 1986. I assume there's some truly various habits now as well as a different degree of party technique and also commitment.
Crises tend to centralize power, wouldn't you say? I mean, if you're, it's one thing to pass your appropriations bills one at a time in the normal fashion, but often we can't do that. Often you're jammed up at the end of the session. Often you have a lot of contentious issues. You have a lack of partisan cooperation. You have a threatened government shutdown. Under those circumstances, you know, I, as the subcommittee chairman of Transportation and Housing, you know, this thing goes above my pay grade at that point.
The enhanced unity, many observers concur, is a testimony not just to the ability of resident Speaker Nancy Pelosi in wrangling her caucus, it also reflects a succession of structural changes in the electoral as well as legal landscape that have actually changed the historically rowdy residents' right into something a lot closer to a legislative institution that requires demanding degrees of commitment within each party, and creates far fewer opportunities of cooperation between them.
In the Congress, be aware of this, the Republicans are plotting a nationwide abortion ban. They cannot be allowed to have a majority in the Congress to do that, but that's their goal. And if you read, and again, we're all studying all this, but if you read what is in the very clear, one of the justices had his own statement. It's about contraception, in vitro fertilization, family planning. That is all what will spring from their decision that they made today.
These fads are practically specific to survive if Republicans, whose own unity has been gradually growing over the previous few decades, take back your house in November. Regardless of which event holds the bulk, your home currently seems secured into an irreparable path towards much more polarization.